Hola amigos, welcome to El Tajín. Buenos dias amigos. Today I am going to El Tajín. I am at my hotel in Papantla and just waiting for my taxi to show up. Let's go. Hola, buenos dias. Okay, I am here and all the stalls and everything are all closed. It is 9:13, so hopefully I have the place almost to myself. We'll see. Oh, hi. Buenos días. Okay, so as I'm entering, I'll explain a little bit about the history of this place. This area of the state of Veracruz, the indigenous people of this area are the Totonacos, or in English, I guess it would be Totonac. And we still don't know if it was the Totonacs who built this city or the Huastecos who built this city, but we do know that the Totonacs considered this place sacred, and the name of the city, El Tajín, comes from the Totonac language, which means, which is the name of the god of thunder. So this city at its highest point was between the years 600 and about 1200 AD. So this city came to rise and was of great importance in this area right after the fall of Teotihuacan. And there is evidence of a relationship with Teotihuacan and also the Maya. So in about around 1200, the city was destroyed and burnt and abandoned, believed to have been by the Chichimeca tribe. But again, no one's 100% sure. After it was destroyed around the year 1200, the jungle took over and covered this city for hundreds of years. And no, it wasn't discovered until 1785 by a Spaniard who was looking for illegal tobacco growing. So this place was hidden for over 500 years. But they say that the Totonac people, knew that this place was here, but they kept it secret from the Spanish because, again, they held this place sacred. Today, the Totonacs are all over this region of Mexico and the state of Veracruz. And they settled Papantla, which is where I'm staying in my hotel. These ruins are not visited that much because we're in a really remote area and it's a kind of pain in the ass to get to. There's not much around here. So this is supposedly one of the best and most interesting archaeological sites in Mexico and the least visited because of where it is. Wow, I'm already in awe. I'm excited. So the first part is the oldest part of the city, and this is called the Arroyo group. Arroyo means stream, and there are streams behind these two parts, but this would have been the marketplace of the city. So this big grand plaza here surrounded by these pyramids would have been the marketplace, and it's gigantic. So these buildings are probably the oldest, and you can start to see what this site is famous for, which are the niches, which are not found anywhere else in Mexico. So all these buildings all around us would have had temples on the top, which obviously are long gone. And we don't know what they would have looked like, unfortunately. But you start to see the niches here, but it's not until we get to the main pyramid of the niches that they become really, they're very well preserved. And that's what this place is famous for. There's hardly any signage to tell you any information about anything here. Very little. So if you are coming here, hire a guide at the entrance or read up on it before you come, and do some screenshots of a map, or else you're not going to really know what you're looking at all. Ooh, and I just tripped. And this is the Pyramid of the Niches, and this is what this site is most famous for. Look at that. There are 365 niches around this pyramid, of course, representing the 365 days of the calendar year. All of these niches would have been painted black inside while the outer walls were red. So the Totonacs and indigenous and the Mayans, etc., they all believed that the caves were a sacred thing, or possibly the entrance to the underworld. So some people believe that these niches represent caves or entrances to the underworld. Okay, and now I'm approaching the other side of the Pyramid of the Niches, which has the staircase. And from what I read, the staircase was built after all the niches were put in. So there are niches behind this big staircase. This is the Ballcourt of the paintings, and it's called that because you can still see remnants of the paint on the building. And what's interesting about this is you see shades of blue, and other than in the Mayan world, no other site has shades of blue in their colors. I don't understand why they don't have the buildings labeled what number they are, because everything I've read, it's like building 5 has this, building 16 has this, and I can't tell which building is which because they're not labeled. I did take a screenshot of the map, but it's difficult to follow. Probably should have hired the guide. This is the South Ballcourt, and this site has 20 ball courts, and the last 3 were just discovered in like 2013. This site has more ball courts than any other site in Mesoamerica. So these people were obsessed with the ball game, which of course was a ritual, a religious ritual, where usually the winners were sacrificed to the gods. This one is fascinating because there are glyphs all on these side walls here that you can still make out. Most of them are faded away, but there are some that you can still really make out. But another thing that interests me is that most of the ball courts that you find in other Mesoamerican archaeological sites, the walls are sloped so that that rubber ball would bounce off of them. But here, all these ball courts seem to have straight vertical walls on either side. Let's check out some of these glyphs here. Okay, this is the first one, and supposedly, from what I read, this depicts the initiation of the game, and there is supposed to be someone being handed a bouquet. Okay, I see it now. So this is the central figure, the player, and he's being given a bundle of spears, which it looks like he's holding above his head. Gonna walk down to the other end. This is the other corner panel. Check this out. Okay, this one you can clearly see. Here we have the principal character there, who is laying on his back, and we have the 2 figures on either side here are playing musical instruments. A turtle shell, and the other a clay rattles. And then you have this eagle figure here, who is a kind of deity that is rising from a vat of liquid. So this is another interpretation of the preparation of before the game starts. Okay, and then here on this north end of the ball court is where the game actually begins. And you can see here, you can make out the players, and you can see around their waist some kind of a belt. Okay, walking back down to this corner now. Okay, and this is the best of all. So this means, this is showing that the game has now been played, and as you can clearly see, the winner is being sacrificed by being beheaded right in the center. Amazing. Okay, and now in the center of the court, so not in the corners anymore, these deal with the response from the gods. So in this scene, you can see up here the face of probably a deity. But then here, the player who was just sacrificed is now whole again. So I guess he's, you know, in the afterlife or whatever. And he is requesting the pulque. And then here on the south center is where he has requested the pulque, and all is good. But then there is also this figure. You can see there, that guy who's holding something in his hands is self-sacrificing. This is actually kind of pornographic. The guy has that sharp object in his hand, and he is doing something to his penis, and then there is a burst of something going onto the face of the other dude wearing this fish-shaped helmet. And from what I just read on this sign, that supposedly is semen. Hello. Okay, this one is labeled, and I did read about this. This is building 5, and what's really cool about this, first of all, it's absolutely amazing to look at, and it's right next to the Pyramid of the Niches back there. This one has a column in the center that when this place was discovered by the Spanish archaeologists, found that column thrown down this pyramid and on the ground. And so they reassembled it and put it back in the spot where it was. And the Totonac people of today, who are possibly the descendants of the people who built the city, their oral tradition says that that column is El Tajín, the god of thunder and lightning. And of course, this place, this whole city now has the name El Tajín, but we don't really know what it was actually called. Okay, this one I can make out on my map. This is building 3, and what's cool about this is, look at that, the remnants of that blue paint. It's like I said before, this is like a turquoise kind of color, or was a turquoise kind of color, and you only find blue coloring in ancient sites in Mexico in the area of the Mayas in the Yucatan. So this is unusual. You know, there is some kind of connection here with the Mayans. So, and evidence has been found from what I've read that they have found that there were different ethnicities living here, the same as Teotihuacan. So this was like a cosmopolitan city. You had different types of people from around Mesoamerica here. So I don't know. I mean, from what I read, and I'm no scholar, but the Huastecos, they speak an offshoot of the Mayan language, which is very strange for that to be all the way up here. So I don't know. To me, it seems like the Huastecos maybe had a lot to do with building this city, and not the Totonacs. But who am I? Just a nobody. and more blue paint on the side down this little alleyway here. Okay, I am heading now to Tajín Chico, or Little Tajín. And Tajín Chico, apparently, originally archaeologists thought it was a separate kind of place, but now we know it wasn't. And this is where the nobles lived, the priests and such. And there are supposed to be palaces back here. Ooh. ¿Usted dijo agua de Jamaica? Ah, es mi favorito.
Hay de limón, aguas de limón, vainilla, pepino con limón,
¿Sí?
pitaya.
Ok. La vanilla es agua.
Agua
Es
de
tipo de
vainilla.
agua. Y
Sí.
también Jamaica, ¿sí?
Jamaica. Y hay de limón, Jamaica.
Ok.
Pitaya, de Jamaica.
Ok, voy a probar el de vanilla
de
porque
vainilla.
nunca he probado.
Sí, está rico.
¿Y cuánto
A
cuesta?
30, joven.
Ok.
Hay vainilla, mira.
Ah.
Vainilla. Y esta planta de vainilla y esta es la vainilla.
¿Es local?
Sí.
¿Se crece
natural.
aquí?
Sí.
¿Aquí?
Aquí.
Ok.
20. Sí.
Muchas
Sí,
gracias.
que le vaya bien.
¿Y
Primeramente,
cómo bebo?
la esquina. Ahí.
¿Corta?
Chiquito.
Ah, ok.
Como bolis.
¿Y así?
Así.
Ah, ok. Muchas gracias. So apparently you just bite the corner. I have this all over me. Okay.
¿Quiere agua? ¿Quiere agua?
No, estoy bien, gracias.
Acá, mira.
Gracias.
Así.
¿Ustedes están hablando Totonaca?
Totonaca.
Ok, sí, eso supongo.
Lashish, naranja.
Lashish?
Naranja, lashish. Shishku, hombre.
Chishku?
Hombre.
Hombre. Chishku.
Chuchut, agua.
Chuchut.
Agua.
Chuchut de vanilla.
De vainilla.
Gracias. This is like drinking a slightly watered down vanilla extract. It's good, but very sweet. Okay. So up here, like I said, this was like the government area, and these would have been palaces. There's some really nice views from up here. So Tajín Chico is up on higher ground than the rest of the site. Look at all these designs. These are called grecas. And I know that because when I was in Oaxaca, there were these elaborate grecas, which are pieces of stone laid out the way they are now, kind of in a mosaic pattern. So if you've seen my video on Mitla, Mitla has the most grecas of any Mesoamerican archaeological site. This palace behind me, I believe, is Building A. And what's interesting about this, first of all, it's very richly decorated with grecas, and also the archway to the entrance looks like it has Mayan influence, the way it comes up like that to almost a point. That's very Mayan. You can imagine these columns inside would have supported some kind of roof, I would imagine. But you can just imagine what these palaces must have been like when they were all plastered and painted. And this is Building I, and they're doing restoration work inside. And I believe there are murals in there, but you're not allowed to go in. But if you look there, you can see some more blue. So yeah, Be really cool to get in there. Should I break in? Headed to another part of the city, and the sun is out now and it's scorching. Okay, so this is called La Gran Greca, and supposedly the walls are in the shape of the god Quetzalcoatl, but I can't really make that out. And inside were ball courts, so obviously it was a sacred space as well. I don't know if around this side. Oh! Holy shit. Look at this. It's gigantic. Okay, I think all that's left is there's a little museum in the front that I'm gonna check out. This is not a fashion statement, by the way. This is because the back of my neck is on fire. It is, I feel like I'm inside of an oven right now. That's how hot it is, so get here early. I'm on my way out, but look at this. Imagine this is what it all looked like at one point, all completely covered over, and probably more than what you're looking at. They say, you know, this entire complex has not even been excavated, especially the Tajín Chico area. Only a small percentage of that has even been excavated. So there's a lot more here. I'm melting. And the museum is closed for restoration. Winning! But here's a view through the window. Under that bubble wrap is a piece of the columns found from that building in the columns group. Would have been nice to see it. And I almost forgot. The Voladores de Papantla, the famous pole dancers' traditional indigenous Totonac performance, is here also, which I believe I showed you in my video on Teotihuacan, but this is where they're from Papantla. So when you come, there's no set times for this show, but when you come in, it's at the entrance where their pole is, and they perform a few times during the day. And when I came in, they said they were performing at 11, but I was deep into the ruins. So I just came out, and he said the next one is at 1:30, so that's about 45 minutes. So I'm just gonna hang out and wait, because I'd like to see it again, because it is absolutely amazing to watch. Yeah. And I have to say, I just went to the bathroom, and when I looked at myself in the mirror, I had pieces of tissue all over my face, so that's probably in this whole video. Yay. The ritual of the Voladores de Papantla is a deeply spiritual and symbolic ceremony rooted in the traditions of the Totonac culture of Veracruz. The Voladores wear elaborate traditional attire, including embroidered shirts, bright pants adorned with mirrors and sequins, and headdresses featuring multicolored ribbons symbolizing rainbows and cosmic energy. Each detail of the attire has a symbolic meaning, emphasizing the connection to the natural and spiritual worlds. Four voladores, representing the four cardinal directions and the four elements, earth, water, air, and fire, climb the pole, which can reach up to 98 feet high. Next, the caporal, or the priest or leader, climbs up and positions himself on the small wooden platform at the top of the pole, acting as the spiritual guide and intermediary between the performers and the gods. The caporal plays a flute and a small drum called a huehuetel. The haunting melodies imitate the sounds of nature, such as birdsong and the wind, and serve as a prayer to the gods. The flyers then lean backwards off the platform and, in perfect synchronization, descend head first while spinning in the air. The ropes slowly unravel as they circle the pole 13 times each. 4 flyers times 13 rotations equals 52, representing the 52 weeks of the Mesoamerican calendar. Although the ritual faced decline after the Spanish conquest, efforts by the Totonac community and cultural advocates have revitalized it in modern times. Today, the ritual is performed in traditional settings and at festivals and cultural events across Mexico. It serves not only as an awe-inspiring spectacle, but also as a reminder of the deep spiritual roots of Mesoamerican culture. Amazing. It is, I'm so happy that I got to see El Tajín. It is fascinating to me. You know, all these Mexican archaeological sites and all these different cities, you know, people just think about the Aztecs and the Mayans, but there were so many, and there are so many cities, pre-Hispanic cities here. I mean, this continent was civilized and inhabited, and they had grand cities. It's just amazing to me. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. My recommendations for you, if you are coming here, get here at 9 as soon as they open, because once 12 o'clock hits, it is hot. I feel like if I had a straw, I could probably suck water out of the air. That's how humid and disgusting it is. Wear long, lightweight pants. Don't even, attempt with shorts because you're going to get eaten alive. Bring your own bug spray or bug wipes. I bring the wipes because they're easier to travel with, because the insecticide in Mexico is not as strong. Bring plenty of water and maybe even a snack. There are some things here that you can buy, but if you get here that early, they might not be open. And electrolyte powder is not a bad idea. All these things, I have Amazon links in the description to this video if you want to get them. No pressure. Buy them. And stay in Papantla, which is the closest nearby city. That'll do it. See you guys next time. Adios. And one more thing. You have to just wait at the entrance and hope for a taxi to come by, which I was told that they do come by. So there is no Uber in Veracruz, from what I understand. So yeah. It's hot. Sí. ¿Entro? Oh, okay. Gracias.